Hello, children. I am your English teacher, Vaishali S. Ubale. Hope you all are fine at home. Today, I am going to teach you Literature third lesson, The Postmaster, written by Rabindranath Tagore. So, let's begin our class with author's intro. So, as you all know, Rabindranath Tagore is a famous English as well as Bengali writer of India. So, Rabindranath Tagore, born on 7th May 1861, died on 7th August 1941. He was also known as Rabi Thakur. His father was Rabindranath Tagore. His mother was Sharda Devi. In 1883, he got married to 10-year-old Mrilani Devi, born on 1873 and died in 1902. So now clearly we will know about Rabindranath Tagore's life, his work and all. So Rabindranath Tagore, born on 7th May 1861 in Calcutta, Bengal Presidents, British India. Died on 7th August 1941 at the age of 80 in Calcutta, Bengal Province, British India. His pen name was Gurudev Bhanu Singho. His notable work Gitanjali, Song Offering One, for which he had got Nobel Prize, and it is a collection of many poems. So, Gora means fair-faced. Ghare Bahere, the home and the world. Notable award Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. He started writing poems at the age of 8. When he was 8 years old, he started writing poems. He was the first non-European to get Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. He has written national anthem for two countries, that is India, Janaganamana, and Bengal, which we'll call even Bangladesh. For Bangladesh or Bengal, he wrote Ama Sonar Bengal. Even this song is considered or is sang as national anthem to their country. He wrote prose, songs, dance, dramas, which include Chitrangada, which is published in 1914, Sham in 1939, and Chandalika, which is published in 1938. So, children, he is a Bengali writer. He not only write his works in Bengali, but even he translate his own work in English. As we learned in his intro that he was the first Indian to get the Nobel Prize in 1913. We even call him as the first Asian person to receive this honor. In late of 60s, he even turned to visual art, producing 2,500 paintings and drawings. So children, on December 22, 1901, Rabindranath Tagore established an experimental school at Shantiniketan with 5 students. He originally named it Brahmacharya Ashram. Instead, the project of Vishwa Bharati, located in Shantiniketan, West Bengal, India. Rabindranath Tagore called it Vishwa Bharati soon after independence. In 1951, the institution was given the status of the university and was renamed as Vishwabharati University. So, children, as you have learned previously only, Rabindranath Tagore is the first person to get in 1913 in the British rule the Nobel Prize. We can call him as the non-European and even the first Asian recipient. Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Literature Prize in 1913. So children, this we can say he was in the time of freedom movement. So when he met Mahatma Gandhi ji, he was the first person who gave Gandhi ji the name, the title Mahatma for his work, for his deed, for his kindness. And Gandhi ji in return, he gave the title for Rabindranath Tagore as Gurudev, because he was knowledgeable person. He had created most of the lively works which gives the moral as well as strength for the people to fight against these Britishers. Okay, so let's move to the lesson. So before starting the lesson, I'll say you a few things that I will read the paragraphs, then I'll explain it. Okay, children. So here is the postmaster first paragraph which you are going to listen now. Go through the wordings, children. The postmaster took up his duty in the village of Ullapur. Though the village was a small one, there was an indigo factory nearby. The proprietor, an Englishman, had managed to get a post office established there. Our postmaster belonged to Calicut. He felt like a fish out of water in this remote village. His office and living room were dark thatched shed not far from a green smelly pond surrounded on all sides by dense growth. So children, let me tell you first the meanings of few words. Here, indigo means a very dark blue dye that originated in India. And the meaning of the word proprietor, the owner of a business. So, one more word. So, in the second paragraph, that is, second line, like a fish out of water. Actually, this sentence means a person who feels awkward or uncomfortable because he or she is in surroundings that are not familiar. Okay, so the other meaning of the word remote, far away from place where other people live. So, children, the meaning of the word thatched here, the roof which is covered with straw or similar material. Okay. Uh, so, another word of slamming. So, the meaning of this word is slimy means either sticky and wet or dishonesty place. Okay, the place which is very sticky, wet. Okay, children. So let me give the explanation of these two paragraphs. So, children, as you have come to know, this story, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore, is actually written in Bengali language. Later, it is translated by himself in English. This story actually belongs to the time of British India, means when Britishers were ruling India. So the postmaster who was being newly appointed for his duty, actually he was living in Calcutta, where it was called as Calcutta in earlier days. Okay, at present it is called as Calicut. The postmaster was been appointed for his job in the small village Ullapur. So he left his place Calcutta and came to Ullapur, which was a small place. And in this village there was a factory, indigo factory, where all villagers, means especially the men, were involved in this job or indigo factories work, where they used to prepare uh, dye or dark blue dye. So children which need lots of work to prepare the dark blue dye. So this factory was actually been established by a British man. Okay, Britishers, Englishmen, and almost all people were involved in their works, whereas this postmaster felt very bad as he was new to that place and this village was very small. He felt he is very remote as he is removed, same he compared himself same as a person who is being removed out of water. We can say the fish which is removed out of water. When the fish is out of water, how it will be, can it survive? No, children. So even in the same way, this postmaster was feeling himself as if he's been removed from his world and brought to some other world. So his post office was in a area where it was thatched and everywhere it was greenery and where slimy pond was there. Means the post office was very old. It was been established by one of the British officer only. So here the post office picture you can see, which is a small hut covered with roof with the straws, and nearby everywhere there is greenery, and slimy pond means the region which is or the area which is wet always. Okay, so it was densely having grass, means the area which was covered with completely grass. Okay, children. Now let's move to the next paragraph. Okay. I hope you understood the first paragraph and the second paragraph. So, children, here we are. He would, however, have preferred a row of tall buildings instead. The postmaster had little company, nor had he much to do. Sometimes he tried his hand at writing a verse or two, that the movement of leaves and the clouds in the sky were enough to fill one's life with joy, with the sentiments to which he sought to give expressions. His salary was rather small. He had to cook his own meals, which he shared with Ratan, an orphan girl of the village, who did odd jobs for him. When, in the evening, the smoke began, the curl up from the village cowshed and the cicadas chirped in every bush. The postmaster would light his little lamp and call out Ratan. Ratan would be sitting outside waiting for his call, and instead of coming it at once, would reply, "Did you call me, sir? What are you doing?" The postmaster would ask. "I am going to light the kitchen fire," would be the answer. And the postmaster would say, "Oh, let the kitchen fire be for a while. Light me my pipe first." So, children, according to this, according to this paragraphs, you will come to know the two characters of this lesson. Firstly, about the character of the postmaster, and secondly, about the orphan girl who is Ratan. Okay, so you will be knowing what the things will go on in this story. Okay, children. So before giving the explanation of these paragraphs, let me tell you few word meanings. So, children, here the word meaning of sentiment, that means a view or opinion that is held or expressed. Okay. Now, the meaning of the word cicadas. So, this means a large insect with a transparent wings, common in hot countries, that makes a continuous high sound by rubbing its legs together. So, one kind of insect which makes a terrible sound. Okay, children. So, here, stripped means. So, we have to spell it as stripped. Don't spell it as script. Okay, children. Stripped. The meaning of this word is make a short, sharp, high pitched sound. Okay. So the other meaning of the word bush. So children, do you know what bush or bush? A shrubs or a clumps of shrubs with a stem of moderate length. Okay, children. So let us move toward the explanation. He would, however, have preferred a row of tall building instead. Means here the postmaster. He was living in Calcutta with a good life. Means he was living in buildings. Now here instead of that he has to live in a small hut. So the postmaster had very little company, or we can say no company, because the villagers were involved in their work. Means they were involved in this indigo factories work, in which they used to get tired and they used to not care about anything what used to happen surrounding them, as they were doing day and night the hard work. And when they used to return to home, they were having their food and going to their bed. This was the routine of this Ullapur village people. And they did not think the postmaster had come. He is new to this place. They did not speak to him properly. So, which made the postmaster very disappointed, sad. He tried to involve himself in writing verse, means the poetic forms in by seeing the nature of this Ullapu, the greenery, the clouds, the environment, pleasant environment. But even though he was feeling lonely, so he tried to involve himself in writing poems, as he was good in writing. He used to see the clouds, he used to see the movements of leaves, trees, and sometimes he used to feel joyful, and he used to bring his sentiments, his feelings in the form of poems, or the lines of his emotion. No doubt he was having very less salary, so he has to cook for himself. Means he used to cook for himself his own meals, and he used to share with one girl. Who was that girl? Ratan. And she was an orphan girl. Okay, she was a girl whose parents were not there. Orphan means the child who won't have parents, relatives, anyone. Okay, so this girl used to do odd jobs for this postmaster. She used to stay with him or live with him. When in the evening the smoke began to crawl upon from the village cowshed, and the cicadas chirped in every bushes, the postmaster would light the little lamp and call Ratan. See, according to this paragraph, in the evening, every evening when the sun sets and the brightness of the sun was visualized, he he used to call. Means everywhere the smoke used to flow from the cow sheds. From the huts, the smoke used to come. He used to call Ratan, and he used to ask what you are doing. So he used to call and say that cicada script means the insect sound. As the sunset, few of the insects, as at present also you can find out when sun sets in the evening time, you will see most of the insects come, especially the mosquitoes. Is it or not, children? You might have noticed in your home, and we light our mosquito machines to kill those mosquitoes to keep ourselves safe. Is it or not? In the same way, the cicadas means insect which makes sound by rubbing its leg, which is very loud one. So at that time he used to call and Ratan and say, while lamping the little lamp only, he used to call Ratan and ask what you are doing. So there is a sound outside of insects, what you are doing out. Then Ratan, who used to be sitting outside under a tree. You can see in this picture a girl who is sitting under a gava tree. Is it or not, children? So she used to be waiting eagerly for the call. Whose call she used to wait? She used to wait for the call of postmaster. Okay, children. When she was being called, or she used to be called by postmaster, she used to not enter directly. What she used to do? She used to give reply by saying that, "Did you call me, sir?" Then the postmaster used to ask, "What you are doing outside?" Then she used to say, "Nothing." Then, what you are going to do? Then immediately she used to answer, "What? I'm going to light the kitchen fire." This was her answer to the postmaster. Then this postmaster used to ask her to light his pipe first. Means, here the pipe is a kind of cigar, or the people who in olden days who used to smoke by putting charcoal in that, and tobacco and charcoal in that. Okay, he asked her first to light the pipe. Okay, then you can light the kitchen fire, he used to say to Ratan. Okay, children, hope you all understood this paragraphs and enjoying the explanation. Let us move toward the next paragraph. Okay, as previously I have did, I will read first the paragraphs, then I'll say the meaning, then I'll explain you, children. Okay, come, let's move toward the reading. At last, Ratan would enter with puffed cheeks, vigorously blowing into a flame a live coal to light the tobacco. This would give the postmaster an opportunity for con- conversing. "Well, Ratan," he would begin, "do you remember anything of your mother?" That was a fertile subject. Ratan partly remembered and partly didn't. Here, father had been fonder of her than her mother. Him she recollected more vividly. He used to come home in the evening after work. One or two evenings stood out more clearly than the other, like pictures in her memory. Ratan would sit on the floor near the postmaster's feet as memories crowded in upon her. She called to mind and little brother that she had, and how on some begone cloudy day she had gone finishing with him on the edge of the pond with a twig for a making believe fishing rod. On some evenings, seated at his desk in the corner of the big empty shed, the postmaster too would call up memories of his own home, of his mother and his sister, of those for whom in his exile his heart was sad, memories which were always haunting him, which he found himself naturally recalling aloud in the presence of the simple little girl. And so it came about that the girl would allude to his people as mother, brother, and sister, as if she had known them all her life. In fact, she had a complete picture of each one of them painted in her little heart. The postmaster had nothing to do. One rain washed afternoon, he called out Ratan. Ratan was spelled beneath the guava tree, busily engaged in eating unripe gavas. At the voice of her master, she ran up breathlessly, saying, "Did you call me, Dada?" "I was thinking," said the postmaster, of teaching you to read, and then for the rest of the afternoon he taught her the alphabets. Thus, in a very short time, Ratan got as far as double consonants. Okay, children, now here we go with the explanation. Before that, we will go through the meanings. Okay, vigorously. Okay, here vigorously means what? Using one's strength with the force. And the meaning of fertile, here it is a subject beta, means uh, that encourages discussion, children. Okay, here fertile means not the similar meaning as land. Here it is subject that encourages the discussion. Okay, now the other meaning of the word vividly. So children, here vividly means remembering something which is clear. Okay, recalling those past things which are clear in your eyes. Okay, so the other meaning of the word living in exile. The meaning of this word is particularly this is a use of metaphor here, children. Living in exile means this is just imagination. Okay, it exile means here a person who is forced to live away from his or her home. Okay, so the other meaning of the word allude means mention something in an indirect way. So, children, means things which we are remembering or recalling again and again forcefully. And the other meaning of the word recalling means remembering the past things, children. Okay. The other meaning of the word sprawled. Sprawled means spread out in a large area very untidily. Okay. Okay, children. The meaning of the word here, a particular Bengali word it is used. Even in few other language also this word is used. That is dada. Here dada, as this is a Bengali version which is been translated in English by Rabindranath himself. So dada means here used as an elder brother. For brothers it is used to address a brother, it is used, children. Okay, dada means used as an address for an elder brother. Okay, children. So let's move for the explanation. So, as previously you came to know, when the postmaster evening he used to get back to home, and he used to call Ratan. She used to be sitting outside, and here in this paragraph you are learning when the postmaster called Ratan and asked her to uh, light his pipe. Okay, so how she used to come with puffed cheeks, she used to enter, means very energetically she used to enter inside, and vigorously, very quickly she used to flame the fire, means she used to flame the coal and light the coal and put the tobacco and prepare the pipe for postmaster before she start her cooking. This would give the postmaster an opportunity to start his conversation, means he is to start his talking with Ratan. So even Ratan was alone and postmaster was alone. Ratan was very young girl, she was very small, whereas this postmaster was a person who was well grown, he was mature. He has come to this village as a postmaster. Okay, children. So whenever this little small girl is to enter, he is to offer her food. Okay, she and even Ratan used to do her few odd works. Okay, so children, when Ratan used to flame the pipe and give to postmaster, while blowing, he used to start conversing with her. He would begin talking about his memories. Means he used to miss his family. He left his family. Means he used to live in Calicut. He came to this small village. Which is this village he had come? Ulapur. Yes. So He used to remember his family. Who were in his family? His father, mother, sister. So he used to talk to Ratan about them. Okay. So here, even what things he used to say to Ratan. Ratan used to sketch those people's picture, means in her mind, in her heart. She used to sit toward his feet, and she used to listen each and every word of the postmaster very clearly. And means she used to sit on floor, and what memories he used to share with Ratan. He used to say, Ratan used to sketch all those things in her mind. But one day when even this postmaster asked about Ratan's family, she said that no, I won't remember that about my mother, but I remember about my father, because I was fond of my father. And only few things I can remember. As my father used to take me out near the pond, near watery area with my small brother, where we used to fish. Means they used to do fishing near the pond by sitting at the edge of the water or sea. Okay, children. Near the pond, they used to sit and they used to do fishing. Both brother and sister. Okay. Then they used to play long time, but now she lost all of them. Okay, children, no one was with her, and so she used to live here. Okay. So in the one of the evening, so when on some evening seated at his desk, means here the postmaster, one evening he sat on his desk in the corner of the big empty shed. The postmaster too would call up memories of his own home. As I have said previously, only he used to call his memories. He used to remember, he was missing very badly to his parents and his sister. Okay, he has homesickness, we can say. Okay, children. So these memories were haunting him. He was recalling a happiest moment also, and he was feeling sad. He was talking loudly about these all memories to this little girl. Who is this little girl? Ratan. Yes. Whatever family background this postmaster said to Ratan, he shared his family background about his mother, about his sister, about his father. She thought she created her own picture in her own mind and heart. That what he was saying, no, the same picture, or she was thinking that she is part of that family. Okay, children, she painted as if she is living with them, in fact as a complete picture with her. Okay. She kept in herself in their family as one of the family member. Whatever the postmaster used to think, she used to think she is there in that place. Okay. She used to think the postmaster parents as her parents, and postmaster sister as his sister and brother, as her own sister and brother. The postmaster had nothing to do. One rain washed afternoon, he called Ratan. So Ratan sprawled beneath the gava tree, busily engaged in eating unripe gavas. At the voice of her master, she ran up breathlessly, saying, "Did you call me Dada?" So, children, according to this paragraph, what Ratan was doing? She was sitting under a gava tree and she was eating unripe gava. Here, unripe means the gava which is not completely fruity. It hasn't been pulpy. Okay, yeah, it hadn't turned in that fruity form. Okay, she was eating that. She was busy. She was laying and eating there. Okay. So the postmaster called her, Ratan, Ratan. Then she rushed very fastly inside. Okay, when Ratan was being called by the postmaster, she heard his voice, and She left eating the gavas and she ran inside breathlessly, very fastly. She ran inside and she asked the postmaster, "Did you call me Dada?" Here, as she was believing to the postmaster as her elder brother. Okay, she kept this postmaster in the place of her elder brother, and his family she was thinking as her family. She was thinking she is also the one of the member of this postmaster's family or this Dada Bhai's family. Okay, so when postmaster called Ratan inside, he as in one of his talking discussing his memories, he asked whether you know to read and write, because his sister and brother were knowing to read and write, and he used to take and sit to his brother and sister to make them to read and write, understand the lessons of their schoolings. Okay, so he as he know that Ratan was unaware, she was uneducated, she was not knowing to read and write, he decided to teach her. So he called Ratan and he said, uh, that I was thinking, said the postmaster, of teaching you to read. And then for the rest of the afternoon, he taught her the alphabet. Thus, in very short time, Ratan got as far as the double consonant. So, what the postmaster did? He said, when he called Ratan, he said, "Today onwards, I am thinking you to teach." So what did he do? So he offered little amount of money to get slate and chalk. Okay, then he asked Ratan to go and get slate and chalk, and he started from that day onwards only in the afternoon to teach her the alphabets. Okay, in very short time, Ratan also learned very eagerly whatever the postmaster used to say her, she used to follow his words. Okay, she was very prompt, very obedient. She used to respect uh, this postmaster as a person who used to care for her. Okay, she used to think whatever this Dada Bhai or this postmaster used to say, do for her, it was for her betterment. Okay, children. Now she learned to read and write the alphabets. So we will finish this first class of this postmaster. In the next class, we will move toward the other paragraphs, children. Thank you to listen, and you have to write the worksheets. Okay, children.